Rachana ji has joined. Can you, Amar, stop music?
Good evening.
Can you repeat your?
Yeah, Rachana ji, good evening. This is Mohan.
Yeah. Good evening. Good evening, Mohan.
Yeah, I humbly welcome you. So nice of you that you came. And we are absolutely grateful to JK. I'll just quickly introduce our team with you. We have our founder, Dr. Yogesh.
Right. Namaste,
Yogesh. Yeah, Dr. Yogesh has done PhD in psychology, predictive psychology, and he has been instrumental to all of us to inspire a lot of learnings and wisdom. So he is the man behind all of us. We have another trustee, Mr. Anand Palnitkar.
Namaste, Anandji. Yeah.
Anand helps us in all our activities with a state of mind as a youth, I can say.
Okay, nice.
Niranjan is another founder along with Dr. Yogesh. Niranjan is very, very energetic and active.
Namaste, Niranjanji. I think all of you are super energetic. I think all of you are at the same level, and you are far more energetic than the youth of India, I feel.
So nice of you. We have one Mr. Amit. He helps us in operations.
Right. Yeah. Amit ji had contacted me.
Yes.
Yeah. Amit ji.
Hi, ma'am. Hi. How are you?
Hi. Yeah. Good.
Correct. We have Mr. Gopal. He also helps us in on legal matters, financial matters. He is also a trustee.
Yeah. Wonderful. I don't see Gopal ji. Yeah. But wherever you are, Gopal ji, namaste to you also.
Namaste, madam. Namaste.
Namaste.
Rachana ji, now it's yours. We would like to, listen to you for a few minutes.
Oh my God. Okay. Okay. I was not prepared for this. But
No,
thank
whatever,
you
it is just an
for.
informal discussion. Just, we would
Sure.
love to have this relationship forever.
Yes. Yes. Definitely. So I can, briefly introduce myself. So I'm Rachna. I'm based out of Gurgaon, actually. So I'm logging in from my home, and I have, I graduated in computer science, engineering, and then I did my MBA and worked for 14 years in the corporate world. I was with IT consulting, with IBM and with Deloitte, for 7 years each with both the firms. And now I am full time in service of Swamiji. So, it's a pride, something that I'm very proud about, that I work for him full time. So it was a choice decision that I made a couple of months ago. I've been associated with Swamiji since very long, like since 2004. I was in college at that time, and at that point of life, you have a little bit of understanding, and whatever knowledge you gain at that point, it takes so much of time to sink in. So that's what happened with me. So I think it just took too long to sink in. So I've joined Swamiji after 14 years of corporate career. But uh,
No,
sorry,
no,
Anand
go
ji.
ahead, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead,
Okay.
go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. So that's my background, and we did pass on this program link for registration to some of our team members and some people in our network also. So they might also have registered, and they will be also joining.
Great.
And Swamiji should be in the next 5 minutes or so. And we have two small videos to showcase what JK Yog is all about. JK Yog is the organization that Swamiji heads. JK Yog stands for Jagadguru Kripalu Yog, and that is what he founded more than a decade ago. And under JK Yog, Swamiji pursues a lot of charitable and philanthropic endeavors in India and in the US also. So we have, quite a large base of devotees both in India and in the US. So what I will do towards the end of the program today, after the Q&A and everything is over, then I will play these two videos. It first video will just showcase all JKOG activities in the US and in India. So that will be about 6-7 minutes long. So people will know, what all we do, where can they get associated with, and so on. And the second video that I will play will be a short one, just about a minute or so. It is more on the books, Swamiji's compositions, where they can buy these books. And we run some free online sessions for adults also and for children also. So those offerings will be displayed on the screen, and people can, they're free to join whatever they want to take advantage of. They will get to know more in the second video. So that is the plan, for the whole session. And I'm sure, when once Swamiji joins in, then I'm sure people will be thrilled to hear him.
Wonderful, wonderful. So nice of you. We are extremely happy for your presence here. Swamiji is coming, so we are all delighted.
Yes,
Dr.
yes,
Yogesh,
sir.
would you like to share something to Rachana ji?
First of all, thank you very much for accepting the invitation as such, and along with, of course, Swamiji, because uh, as a forum, we have we bench our activities around two things. I mean, it'll be nice where I'm talking to and sharing about the forum as well.
Yeah,
We want to take care of emotions, and we want to take care of economics. There are only
yeah,
two E's that we want to take care of as
right,
a
right.
business community. uh, uh, Over a period of time, we have been able to do a lot of work by inviting graciously the spiritual leaders of the country, because I think that's the most unique thing that India has is the spiritual leaders. And
Right,
uh,
absolutely. Right.
what appealed me about Swamiji was, of course, his teachings and everything that I've been following, but more importantly, the kind of education that he's taken and then inward learning that he's done, and probably is now sharing to everybody, is
Yeah.
an awesome work that he's done. So I think we all will be blessed in his presence today, and
Yes.
it has been extremely kind that he's joining us from US very early in the morning, right? But
Right.
I'm sure. So thank you very much. As an organization, as an association of businessmen, we are extremely delighted. Today, people will be joining with their families. So maybe
Right.
if there are 100 people, the actual watch people would be around 200, 300, 250 types. So
Right.
that is what this technology is also helping us to do and spread right knowledge. Thank you
Absolutely.
so much for being
Absolutely.
a part of our journey as well.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
We have, I think, a minute. And Dr. Yogesh, we are today, we should be another reason to celebrate Dr. Bhagyalata Pataskar has joined.
Oh, wonderful. Very nice. Dr. Pataskar, namaskar, namaskar, namaskar. So nice that you've joined. So nice
Lata,
that you've joined.
you can open your video and speak for a minute.
Uh, One moment, I will have
Is
to.
she
Yeah,
allowed for to?
yeah. She's allowed. She's here. She's here. She's here.
Yeah.
Namaskar.
Namaskar, namaskar, namaskar.
Namaskar. So nice of you
Thank you.
that I am getting this opportunity to share these valuable thoughts.
Wonderful.
Rachana ji,
And my family is also here, and they are also listening to this speech.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Rachana ji, Dr. Lata is a PhD in Sanskrit. She has been teaching
Oh my God.
Bhagavad Gita all over the world.
Wow.
And within the world, there are 100 top scholars in Sanskrit. She has been among the top 100 in the world.
Oh my
And
God.
the
It is
first
really an
and the
honor
first
to
lady.
meet her.
More importantly, the first lady.
First lady. And she is the
Right.
director of a Vedic Institute of central government.
This is wonderful. It's really an honor to meet you, ma'am. Good evening,
Namaskar.
and yeah,
Thank
namaste to you. Yes.
Very nice. Thank you very much, Dr. Pataskar. Thank you very much. खूप आनंद झाला तुम्ही
Thank
आलात.
you.
खूप आनंद झाला. Thank you for coming. Thank you. So there are extremely talented people in the community, Rachnaji, and
Yeah.
not only talented but also the ability to give more with a large heart. That's
Okay.
something that we are intending to build as a community also.
Yeah.
As an organization, we are a 4 years old organization,
Yeah.
and all of us are from different walks of life, different businesses, different kind of work. We come together, and of course, once Swamiji joins in, the time starts off, we will have certain rituals that we follow. So
Yeah.
one of the elements that we follow is nation first. So that's something that we will do. There is a small oath that we take for every session as an
Okay.
arise oath. We will take that oath.
Okay.
So I'm also
Sure.
briefing you so that it'll be easy for me to process it as it comes. There
Sure.
will be a 5 minutes odd presentation that will be done by Niranjan sir and other trustees about what are the activities that we have been doing in the community. And
Okay.
people will, of course, because it is important that you keep talking about good things that are happening around in the kind of situations that we are in. There are not much good things that have been spoken, right? So we should not lose an opportunity. Hence, I was very happy when you said that we're going to get understanding of what Swamiji has been doing in India, US, the work that he's done, the books that he's written in now. So that's
Yeah.
such a nice thing to understand. So we'll do that small presentation, and then I'll introduce Swamiji, and then it is on to him. The entire everybody is eager to listen to him.
Sure. Sure. This sounds, it is more exciting than what I imagined to be. So thank you for all the surprise.
Great.
Uh,
All right, Mohanji, over to you.
I think we are. Should we wait for the national anthem for Swamiji's arrival?
Yeah.
It'll be nice. Yeah, it'll be nice because I think he'll be joining at 6:30, right?
Yeah.
He'll be joining at 6:30. So the moment he joins, we
Yeah.
will start
Actually,
that off.
we sure. So
Yeah.
he generally does join like 5 minutes early to any program, but he finished the program at almost 11:30 in the night, like his 11:30 in the night, and now it's like
Okay.
7:38 in the morning. So
Okay.
just give me a minute. I'll
No
quickly
issues.
call
No
him.
issues. No issues. Feel comfortable.
No, absolutely okay. Absolutely. I'm
Absolutely
sure
okay.
he must be joining also.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just looking for him. I do see some of my team members who are in, so great. Uh, yeah, let me just give a quick call to Swamiji. Just give me a
Sure,
minute.
No, no, no. Hello. I welcome all the attendees once again. We'll just start within a minute or two maximum. I'm sure we are all eagerly waiting to start the program. It will just start in a minute or two.
Amit, can we start with the national anthem? Can you welcome everyone and start the national anthem?
Yes, sir. Amar?
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
भारत माता की
Jai.
Right.
I request Mr. Gopal Oza to deliver Arise Oath. Amit will be sharing the Arise Oath.
Yeah, एक minute. Rachana ji, any issue, any problem?
No. I just wanted to let you know that Swamiji is in, so I can see him in the attendees. So if you can make him the panelist.
Okay. Give me a moment. Just give me a moment. I've done that. He should be here.
So we'll just hold, we'll welcome him, then we'll have a oath.
Yes, yes.
Yes, yes, sure.
Namaste to everyone.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste. Swamiji, we just finished the national anthem.
Yes, I was there for it.
All right. We have our community oath that we do, and
Sure.
And we will complete our 3 to 5 minutes presentation about the activities that the community and the NGO is doing, and of course that's how we'll start. Can I request? So everybody on the chat boxes, you can all say namaste to Swamiji. Your chat boxes are open.
I will just officially welcome him.
Yeah, and we will officially, of course, welcome, but we'll just finish the ritual that we have. So, Gopalji, over to you. Can you please get the oath done?
Yes. Yes, we will start now.
Yep.
I am a responsible human being.
I am a responsible human being.
Ready to support.
Ready to
support.
Share and collaborate.
Share and collaborate.
Share and collaborate.
I'll be honest in my actions towards everyone.
I'll be honest in
my actions towards everyone.
I'll enjoy my journey.
I'll enjoy
my journey.
With a large heart and tolerance.
With a large
heart and tolerance.
Towards community and society.
Towards
community and society.
I will establish entrepreneurial brotherhood.
I will
establish entrepreneurial brotherhood.
To strengthen my country.
To strengthen my country.
And humanity.
And humanity.
Jai Hind.
Jai Hind.
Thank you.
Yeah, officially I welcome Swamiji. I am absolutely delighted you being with us. We are all excited. We were eager since last 10 days, and you would be surprised to know that I started following you in last 2 years after my son has told me about you. So that's something which is, the youth is getting involved in the wisdom which you are sharing. And as you have been saying, there is always the fire, the heat in the fire. So there has to be a desire to become better. So we are all here to learn, and I'm sure I guarantee all attendees that the one you are there right now and one you will be after 1 hour, I'm sure there will be a next level of maturity and there will be a transformation. I wholeheartedly welcome you. We are extremely happy and delighted to be with you, and we would love to be connected with you forever. So,
wow, that is such an inspiring resolve and commitment. I'm delighted to be with such a tremendous audience.
Thank you. Wonderful. Very nice. All right. Okay.
Yeah. Now I request, Dr. Yogesh to introduce Swamiji quickly.
This is to everybody. The aura that you see on the screens right now is an excellently worldly educated from IITs and IIMs, is an extremely charismatic personality. He has dedicated his life in guiding millions worldwide on the path of happiness, fulfillment for over 40 years now. His unique and profound approach of self-improvement blends with scientific theories, perfect logic, with his decades-long mastery in Vedic scriptures. As an internationally acclaimed expert of mind management and yogic science, he teaches many powerful yet simple techniques of life transformation. His illustrations through humorous stories and real-life examples stay with you after a long time when you've heard them too. In this way, he is not only addressing all the modern-day problems that plague the mind of many, but he also inspires people to practically incorporate timeless divine wisdom into his daily lives. Many have found solace in his best-selling books on Amazon and multitude of other literature compositions of all ages. Swamiji has over 1 million followers on social media. And I'm 100% sure after this session, all of you will be his followers too. He lectures 7 days a week, conducting seminars, workshops, retreat all over the world, including the Fortune 500 corporations and the unique university. Over and above the preaching activity, Swamiji also heads Charitable Medical Hospital, Naturopathy Care and Yoga Center, University Education and Vocational Training in Odisha. Swamiji, with complete humility and a lot of pride that I've been able to speak about you, I hand over the stage to you with a lot of gratitude. Thank you very much for accepting our invitation. And please, your wisdom is required by a lot of people. I'm sure people in this webinar will have a great learnings from all of you for in the next 45, 50 minutes that we'll do. Thank you, Swamiji, for coming in. Over to you now.
Thank you so much, Dr. Parashar, for that extremely sincere welcome. I am deeply touched by your sentiments. I was just wondering, why was this Arise group created? And why do people wish to be members of this group? Factually, the desire to rise and to grow is intrinsic to our soul. No matter how good we may be, we wish to be even better. Better husbands, better wives, better bosses, better employees, better citizens, better human beings. This is the urge of our soul, and the whole universe is designed for the evolution of the soul over a continuum of lifetimes until the ultimate perfection. If you look at nature, you find that carbon, when it's pressed in the crust of the earth for millions of years, it evolves to diamond and precious stones. If you want a smaller time frame, the earth is converted to grass, which is grazed by the cow, that then creates milk in itself, which is extracted from it and transformed into yogurt, that is then churned to extract butter, which is heated to create ghee. And the ghee is placed on the altar of the Lord. However, the creation of diamonds and ghee is not the primary purpose of nature, rather the evolution of the divine souls. So the urge to arise is natural. But the difficulty is that despite our best intentions, we find it is not an easy job. And one of the reasons for this is our lack of awareness of the laws of the universe. If you take water and heat it to 95 degrees centigrade, it remains liquid, you are not surprised. If you heat it beyond 100, it evaporates. Again, it is not astonishing because it is following the physical laws. These are the laws of physics, chemistry, mathematics, etc., that we studied in school. We humans also create laws of society, etc. But human-made laws come into existence and they can be repealed. The laws of God are eternal and irrespective of time, place, and circumstance. So if you climb up the Qutub Minar and throw an object, it will fall to the earth with a thud, accelerating at the speed of gravity. And if you go to the Eiffel Tower, the same phenomenon exactly will be repeated. Like we have laws governing natural phenomena, there are also laws that govern human life. And 7 of these I have crystallized in this topic, 7 divine laws to awaken your best self. The first is the law of infinite potential. The second is the law of incremental growth. The third is the law of beliefs. The fourth is the law of happiness. The fifth is the law of sublimation. The sixth is the law of love. And the seventh is the law of mentorship. Now, usually when I come to America and tour around, I give a 7-day series on these laws. However, here I'm going to try my best to encapsulate all this, to give you a little taste of it in the little time we have. Viktor Serebriakov was living in Austria. When he was 15 years old, his teacher told him that he was a dullard and would never amount to anything in his life, so education was useless for him. Believing that teacher's input, he dropped out of school. And for the next 16, 17 years, he worked as a lumberjack. However, at the age of 31, he desired recruitment in the army, and as a part of the selection process, he took their IQ test. That was the first time he realized his IQ was beyond the 161 limit of their test. So he understood he is not a dullard, he is a genius. That one awareness transformed his life. After that, he wrote books on the lumberjack industry. He became a member of the Mensa. You've all heard of this Society of the Superintelligent, whose worldwide membership at that time in 1950 had reduced to 4. He lifted it up and made it a tremendously popular organization. And for 40 years, till his death at the age of 90, he remained its chairman. How did Viktor Serebriakov transform himself so tremendously? It was just awareness of who he was. Similarly, the saints and scriptures say that, look, you, Swami Vivekananda, I'm quoting here, he says, you are not bodies, you are not matter. Thou art souls immortal, spirits blessed, free and eternal. Matter is your servant, not you, the servant of matter. Think who you are, not a bag of stool, pus, blood, urine, mucus called this body. You are a divine being called the soul, and your soul is an eternal part of the supreme soul. Mamaivansho jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana. Lord Krishna says, Arjun, all living beings in creation are my eternal fragmental parts. You must have heard of the great Raman Maharshi, a saint who lived in the first half of the last century. He was always fond of reminding people to think of who they are. When somebody would come to him with a problem, Gurudev, I have this family problem, this financial problem, this health problem, he would say, think, who has this problem? Now, one devotee came to him and said, Gurudev, I have a family problem, financial problem, health problem, and don't tell me to think who has this problem. He said, my child, think. Who is asking? Don't tell me to think who has this problem. His message was very clear that this journey of arising begins with awareness of the self. Although science has no scope for the soul, however, our ancient books of wisdom tell us that you were not created upon birth, you will not die upon death. You are an eternal being. And from the soul comes the consciousness in the body. When that soul departs, the hands, leg, feet, everything is there, but consciousness is gone. So this soul is alike in quality to God. Just like a huge fire can burn and a tiny spark can also cause a conflagration. So we have divinity in us. But not only that, this word for God in the Vedas is Brahma, or in English written as Brahman. You probably know what Brahma means. He who is infinitely big, Vrihatvat Brahma. However, there is a second definition of Brahma which most people are not aware of. Vringhanatvat Brahma. Brahman is he who makes others big. So, God's divine plan for all his parts is to bring them to the perfection at which he is. That is why Swami Vivekananda put it so well when he said, these great prophets were not unique. They were human as you and I, and they had attained super consciousness. And you and I can do the same. The very fact that one person attained that state indicates that all of us can do so. And that ultimately is religion. What a beautiful definition of religion. Religion is not just a bunch of rituals. He says religion is the technology for becoming perfect, like God is perfect. So the first divine law is the law of infinite potential. No matter what our present state, all of us have infinite capacity to grow and to evolve. One of the greatest architects has been Frank Lloyd Wright. He was the one who designed the Guggenheim Museum and the Hollyhocks Studio, etc., many world famous monuments. Whenever he was asked, which is the best building you have designed, he used to say, my next one. That is the mindset of growth, which you all have reflected so nicely in the oath that you have taken. In fact, what I am saying is just reinforcing the oath, which is the natural aspiration of the soul in all of us. Some know it and some do not. Now, when we decide that I need to grow and to succeed, the next question comes, how will it happen? So many people have this lottery winning mentality. They believe that success will fall into their lap one day. And there are so many success stories going around. We hear of the railway ticket conductor who suddenly became a great test cricketer and one of the best in the world. We hear of the Harvard student who dropped out to establish Microsoft Corporation. We hear of the martial arts instructor who left it to become a famous Bollywood star. So this kind of leads people to think that one day success may fall in my lap as well. However, to have this kind of mentality is like hoping the jackpot will open one day for me. It is the lottery winning mentality. Now, people do win lotteries, but the chances of it are, if you wish to win the Dubai lottery or the American lotto, the chances would be 0.000000001%. And if you round that up, it comes to 0. So in America, they get the winner of the American lotto to come on the screen and jump up and down, I won, I won. The problem is they don't bring the losers to the television. If they brought the 9 million losers and gave each of them just 5 seconds to say, I lost, that testimony would have gone on for many years without ending. So to put your life on the stake that one day the jackpot may open up for me is to behave like a crackpot. The second divine law states that progress comes to anyone through small incremental steps of growth. You make one right decision, you take a right action, you follow it up again and again and again, and this is what leads to great heights. Take, for example, two friends, Ramesh and Dinesh. They graduated together from engineering college and they took up IT jobs, and they are newly married in their early 30s. Now, Ramesh made a decision. He started reading some books of wisdom. And from that, he got inspiration, the knowledge, technology to improve himself, to manage his mind. He was inspired to go on a healthy diet. He was inspired to exercise, to do yoga. And the consequence was that with all this mind management, he was becoming positive and popular and robust in his health. On the other hand, Dinesh, he made a few decisions the other way. He learned bakery, cooking, how to make pastries, etc. And his friends loved it. So every week he was inviting them for parties, and alongside they were drinking. Now, the consequence in the short run was nothing. If you see Ramesh and Dinesh after 3 years, they won't look much different to you. But that 150 extra calories every day adds up to thousands and slowly up to millions. So if you see them after 15 years, Ramesh is still healthy and slim and trim, whereas Dinesh has added lots and lots of pounds. And this doesn't come, it doesn't stop there. Because he has become overweight, he now wants to sleep more. So his performance in the office suffers because he feels groggy. and his boss threatens him that your job is in danger. That stresses him out. When he comes back home, he doesn't know how to handle his mind because he never read the science of mind management. So the relationship with his wife gets strained. All this is a consequence of little decisions that were made. If we wish to follow the trajectory to perfection, then we need to, to discipline ourselves to keep on making the right choices, even though they are difficult. And slowly, the momentum develops in your life. This is called the big mo. In the 1960s, researchers discovered that sports teams, once they started succeeding, they just seemed to continue succeeding till they won the tournament. So they called this the big mo. You see, as little children growing up in India, we all played on the merry-go-round. Now, to put it in motion required tremendous effort. We were pushing while walking on the ground, and slowly the speed started picking up until we were walking freely. And then we began running alongside with it until the momentum was so much that we lifted our feet and we were standing on the merry-go-round. Now, if ever it reduced, we just put one foot down and kicked the ground and again came back up. So likewise is the momentum in your life as well. First, you exert yourself. You utilize your self-control to make the right choices. And slowly it becomes easier and easier and easier. So you go from the stage of conscious incompetence. This is the first stage. I'm consciously doing it and yet incompetent. But as the momentum picks up, you come to the stage of conscious competence. You're doing it competently when you exert your full mind and intellect. And then comes the next stage of unconscious competent. Automaticity has now been achieved. To unleash that big mo in your life, you need this virtue of willpower. Because old habits have their gravitational pull, and the mind and senses are lower nature, they exert themselves. It's easier to be lazy and indolent than it is to exert yourself. So what we need here is willpower. Willpower is the willingness to do the right thing, even though it is unpleasant, and the willingness to abstain from the wrong thing, even though it is so enticing. So every time we know something is a lower activity, and yet we indulge in it, we reduce the quality of our willpower. Every time we know something is inferior, we abstain from it. We enhance the muscle of our willpower. Every time we force ourselves to live according to our highest values, we grow in our willpower resource. So one step at a time, you build your willpower. The saints always knew this. And that is why Swami Ram Tirth, after Swami Vivekanand, he was one of the most significant Swamis to come to USA. But he discovered that his mind had this weakness for apples. And he is thinking of meditating on Sham Sundar, and Seb Sundar, the apple, comes to his mind. So he decided he needs to train his will. He would place an apple there. The mind would say, "Can I eat it?" And he would deny the mind. So going, coming, he would keep denying his mind. After 6 days, the apple would rot. He would throw it away. And in this way, he liberated the power of his will. Having said that, willpower is still a limited resource. And we all exert it to the utmost. I'll follow the diet that I wish. I will wake up at the right time. I will exercise. And then one day we find it has run out. I will not go on social media. One day has passed, second day has passed, 10, 9, 10, 15 days have passed. And then one day you find yourself surfing there for 2 hours and then say, "Oh my God, what was this?" So it is a fact. The willpower is important, but it is a limited resource. To live the life of your highest aspirations to which you wish to arise, you need a higher power. And that is why power. Why power is the conviction of your intellect, the reason for doing something. As somebody said, if you have a strong enough why, you will be willing to tolerate the most difficult of circumstances. Now, if I tell you that on the basis of your willpower, stay awake all night, by 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, you will have dozed off to sleep. The willpower is not allowing, is not sufficient for it. On the other hand, if you have to make a PowerPoint presentation to your company board and your job depends on it, now the why power has come. Now you will spend the whole night and revise it 5 times until you have it to perfection because you realize its importance. So the willpower is the control of the mind, and the why power stems from the intellect. Lord Krishna says, "Mai eva mana adhatsva, mai buddhim niveshaya." Arjun, you will need to control your mind for life transformation. You will also need to illumine your intellect. So this intellect is such, if it so decides, it can control the mind. You know, although I did make it to IIT, I was an insincere student in IIT because somehow engineering was not as appealing to me as I had probably thought. And I was more interested in English poetry and things like that. So I was amongst the 50% of the class that was insincere, and we would sometimes even bunk the class. However, when the exam came, each and every of us, without exception, we would be found in our rooms, toiling away till late night in preparation of the next day's exam. How did this ability to control the mind come all of a sudden the night before the exam? The intellect decided, look, if you don't do it, you're going to flunk. So once the intellect had the why, it controlled the mind. Now, to tap into why power, we need to examine our beliefs. Beliefs are the convictions that we hold in our intellect. And those beliefs define our reality for us. One person believes, merit is not important. Promotions only happen based on sycophancy. So it may not be true, but he believes it to be true. And the consequence, he is now not motivated to work hard. So the world is like an equation with infinite variables. We all make our belief systems to simplify our thinking and to understand it. Those beliefs hold a sway on our personality like nothing else. When parents of teenagers come to me and say, Swamiji, my child has gone astray, what to do? So I say, first thing, check the company he or she is keeping. If that company is bad, they have changed your child's beliefs. And those beliefs have led the child astray. That is why somebody said, be more careful about the beliefs you hold in your head than the food you put in your mouth. The beliefs can be defective even as an adult because of lack of knowledge. Somebody comes to me ever so often and says, Swamiji, why is it that bad people are successful in this world and good people don't succeed? I say, Ram, 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 don't believe in such trash. You know what will be the consequence of that belief? You will also want to become a bad person. Now it is seeming to you that this person is succeeding because you cannot see the inside. You're looking at the size of the car and the number of bedrooms in the house and the zeros and the bank balance. If you looked inside, you'd say, I'm much better. True success is the success that we are discussing today, is the uh, to become the best version of ourselves that we can become, and thereby to do the best that we can do. So this is the definition of success: to be the best you can be and to do the best that you can do. And this will require the best beliefs, not untrue beliefs, beliefs that are based on knowledge. That knowledge is so eminently available in the Indian culture. The knowledge bestowed by the ancient books of wisdom, tried and tested by thousands of sages, savored by them, validated by them. All that reservoir of knowledge in the Indian culture is there. It is such a pity when I see the modern generation is completely unaware of it. Sometimes when I go to colleges, I ask, how many of you have read the Bhagavad Gita? And I'm astonished to see out of 500 people, one person. So if that knowledge, we tapped into it and created beliefs based on it, our beliefs would be empowering. Our beliefs would be uplifting and liberating. So the third divine law, the law of beliefs, states that the trajectory of our life is determined by the beliefs we hold in our intellect. I am going to go faster now. The most important belief in our life is in regard to happiness. Ultimately, it is all about happiness. One person feels he or she will become happy by watching cricket and is engrossed completely in it. People like yourselves, members of the Arise group, believe you will become happy by becoming better individuals and by contributing significantly. But you are also searching for happiness, just like the drunkard and the drug addict. There is nobody who cannot desire happiness. The question is only, where do you believe happiness lies? Somebody's conviction is sabse bada rupaiya, and the whole life is dedicated to chasing that money. Another person has developed this belief that, it's all about popularity and name and fame and nothing beyond it. And that person is into going and getting votes from here and there in a futile race for different seats. So, where does happiness lie? This is the critical decision. The irony is that all of us are searching for happiness. But just like that rainbow in the horizon, it keeps receding as we keep running towards it. Mahatma Vidur in the Bhagavatam had asked Maitreya Rishi, Sukhaya karmani karoti loko natai sukham vanyaduparamam va. He said, "Oh sage, everybody is looking for happiness. And they're getting the very reverse. Misery, suffering, anxiety, tension. What is the mistake that is being made here?" The mistake is very simple. We are looking for happiness in the wrong places. It's like the kasturi deer. The musk deer has kasturi within it. But the aroma of the kasturi is so immense that the whole forest starts getting it. And the deer, intoxicated, runs here and there. Where is this aroma coming from? Similarly, the sages tell us that, look, happiness is not in objects. It is not in situations. You can be in the midst of the most opulent luxuries of the world. You can be the child of the wealthiest and yet be totally miserable. You can be the biggest film stars and yet be unhappy. Happiness is inside of you. How will you tap into that inner happiness? Very simple. By becoming the best that you can be. It is so simple. See, happiness doesn't come from what you possess or from what you do. Happiness comes from what you are. Try to be the best you can be, and you experience that fulfillment arising from within. So the fourth law, the law of happiness, states that happiness is achieved by trying to become the best that we can be. So when you try to be good and do good, that is when you feel good. Again, the oath that you all took is so perfect because it reflects these two, to be good and to do good. And the consequence of that is to feel good. So this is the law of happiness, which then establishes our personal goal. I need to be good. And when that becomes our objective, we realize the importance of the mind, because we are tied to this mind, which is sometimes creating inferior thoughts, unholy desires, And it's dragging us back with laziness, indolence, sometimes even envy for the success of others, and unnecessary disturbances through stress, fear, anxiety. So the Vedic scriptures say, look, you are what your mind is. जैसा मन वैसे हम. भूल न जाना इस नुस्खे को, लाभ अनेक उठाओगे. जैसा मन को बना सकोगे वैसे ही बन जाओगे. So that is why the Panchadashi states, Man eva manushyanam karanam bandhamokshayo. Liberation and bondage is not dependent on the marks on your head or the color of your cloth. It depends upon the state of your mind. So when we now go inwards to work upon our mind, we want to get rid of unholy desires, of enfeebling attachments, of greed and the like. And that is when we realize that the more we wish to avoid them, the more they impinge on us. One social researcher called Daniel Wegner, he established the ironic effects theory. The ironic effects theory states that the more you wish to avoid a thought, the more it comes to you. If you lie down in bed thinking I have to sleep early to attend that early morning meeting, and you say, I need to go to sleep, you find yourself more wide awake. If you decide that I will avoid envy for my neighbor, I must not think of my neighbor. Okay, there's somebody's mic which has come on. You will find that yes. So you will find that you are thinking of your neighbor even more. So you must have experienced this so many times. Don't think of this. Every time you tell yourself, don't think of it, you find yourself thinking of it even further. So what is the reason for it? When you decide, this is a forbidden thought, don't think of it. So one part of your brain becomes the operator, don't think of it. The second part becomes the monitor. Am I thinking of it? So if the operator is weak, the monitor impinges and the thought comes to our mind even more. That is why the fifth divine law states that don't try to suppress desires. Dovetail them in the proper direction. You have the desire to earn money? Great, don't give it up. Earn money with this intent. I will use it in the service of humankind for the pleasure of God. You have the desire to write. Don't look on it as Maya. Oh, it's a desire, I need to give it up. Say, I will write for uplifting the consciousness of the others. You have the desire to sing. Wonderful. Only forget about valueless singing of Bollywood songs. Sing the divine glories of the Supreme Lord for your holiness and for evoking devotion in others. So the law of sublimation then states that the way to purify your mind is by sublimating your anger, greed, everything in the direction of God. This brings us to bhakti. The advantages. Now the object of your desire is all pure. So when you desire the all pure, your mind automatically becomes purified. That is the natural consequence of it. Now, when we are in the topic of bhakti, we then need to ponder over the nature of bhakti or love. We all go to the temple, to the church, the gurdwara, masjid, etc. To do what? To go and ask God for boons. Hey Bhagavan, naukri nahi lagti, naukri lag jaye. Hey Bhagavan, promotion nahi milti, promotion mil jaye. Hey Bhagavan, bete ki shadi nahi hoti, shadi ho jaye. Hey Bhagavan. So we are going to God with these material requests. The Vedas tell us this is not love. This is business. You're going to God to ask, this is business. Remember these three things: love, lust, and business. Where the goal is, I want, that is lust. Where the goal is, give and take, that is business. And where the goal is give, that is love. Never in this world did we truly love. Wherever you established a relationship, it was all about what can I get from that other person, my happiness. Now in the divine realm, don't ask what can God do for me. Ask how can I serve him? This is the aspiration to serve. So the law of love states that true love is that where we seek the happiness of the beloved and wish nothing in return. It's a different matter. Bin mange, moti mile. Mange mile na bhik. When you start giving, you automatically start receiving. I am coming to the final law, which will then be followed by the Q&A. This is the law of mentorship. We have discussed these divine laws. To implement them, you need a mentor. Statistics reveal that in professional settings, somebody who has a mentor is 5 times more likely to receive the promotion than someone who doesn't have a mentor. 75% of the Fortune 500 companies invest in mentorship because they realize that it adds tremendous value. 95% of the mentees, when they were interviewed, they said they gained so much from the experience because their mentor prevented them from making costly mistakes. So mentorship is such an important thing. If you are entering the sports, professional sports, and you have a mentor, that mentor can help you make the right choices. That mentor can inspire you to higher goals. That mentor can hold you to higher standards and help you to avoid the mistakes that they may have made. So this mentor word actually came from Greece. The teacher of Homer was mentor. So from that came this word mentor, which means personal teacher and guide. The French have the word tutor, which means the same thing. Someone who is there to teach you personally. The Japanese have the word sensei. It refers to the teacher of martial arts, or veritably one who went before you. The British used the word guide, someone who knows the terrain and can show you the way. The Americans have now developed the word coach. So 500 years ago, coach was a horse-drawn carriage that carried you from your present position to the destination. That is what the coach does in your life as well. In India, we have the word guru. The guru is one who destroys the ignorance within us and brings us into the light of knowledge. So in any field, if we wish to progress, a mentor's contribution is invaluable. Try and find a mentor who is a role model, because that is so inspirational. He did it. I can also do it. Try and find a mentor who is expert in that field, who has knowledge of it, because only such a person's knowledge can be trusted. Try and find a mentor who is available. Because if you say, okay, the CEO of my company is a mentor, and you don't have any access to the CEO, then it doesn't serve any purpose. So in the Vedas, we say, try and find a guru who is Shrotriya Brahmanist, somebody who has the theoretical knowledge of the scriptures and has realized it to be situated on the transcendental platform. So very briefly, these are the 7 divine laws to awaken your best self. Thank you all very much.
Wonderful. This
Some awesome. Swamiji, I don't know, no words can express. We were in trance. So nice of you. We were in trance, and you have simplified I don't know, I don't have words. No words can express our gratitude and the happiness and the joy and the wisdom which you shared so quickly, so easily.
Well, that's very kind of you. I think it's just a match of the intentions. You are all into arise, and I'm just, reinforcing the values that you also strongly believe in.
And Swamiji, I mean, it won't be an exaggeration. Dr. Yogesh is our mentor for all of us.
I see.
Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. That is, see, this is the giving. And interestingly, the more you give, the more you get. So he becomes more and more inspired as he distributes this wisdom and inspiration.
That's how it is. It is just awesome to be among such wonderful people.
That's it.
So, Swami, I think it's time that we spend a little on our Q&A, and I would recommend everybody to put in their questions on the chat box or the Q&A section. And what we will do is I will ask one by one the questions to Swamiji. Swamiji, the first question has already come: whether knowledge is a value?
Okay. Knowledge is in itself not value. It has the potential of creating a value. What is a value? The importance that you accord to something. So if you accord great importance to your family relationships, that is your value. If you accord great importance to self-growth, that becomes your value. The knowledge can let you know this is important, but whether you accept it, whether you believe it or not, is always a choice that you make. So get good knowledge, establish good beliefs, and from that will come good values.
Wow, wonderful. This is coming from me as a question to as people are also writing it down. Whatever you've done in past, or whoever you have been in past, guides your today and probably your future. is my assumption or belief right or wrong?
Yes, but like I said, that no matter what we may have been, no matter what we may have done, the future has infinite potential. So it's like somebody has less money in the bank, somebody has more, but both of them can grow it. So we may have been the worst, we may have been a sinner, but the law of infinite potential says that each of us has the potential to become perfect like God is perfect.
All right. Okay. Ideally, those beliefs that are there, which are with you, which probably not helping you to grow, those need to be removed, and consciousness. I completely agree with you.
Very correct.
That one scripture, Bhagavad Gita itself, is enough to go inward in it, and I completely agree with you. Somebody,
That's
there's a
right.
question that's coming, and how to draw a line between materialistic aims and spiritual aims of life.
So some people, they say that if you are materialistic, you cannot be spiritual. Like, this is a scientific viewpoint. Do you believe in science or do you believe in spirituality? And some spiritualists take it to the extreme that you are a spirit, so then matter is not important. But they say then you don't have to accord importance to your body. But the fact is, if the body is not functioning, you cannot practice spirituality. Tanu binu bhajan ved nahi varna. Sharira madhyam khalu dharma sadhanam. Even to practice good works, the body is the vehicle. To maintain the body, you need material science. But no matter how much material success you have, you wish to become a better person, otherwise there's no way you can be happy. And that is where spiritual science will come in. So the Vedas say, Dve vidye veditavye parachaiva paracha. You need both. There is no need to contradict them. Reconcile the material aspect and the spiritual aspect in your life. Whatever is necessary for the upkeep of yourself and your family, you will have to do it. But your aspiration should be spiritual, to do good, to be good, to feel good.
Wow, wonderful! What a simple answer to a profound thought. Wonderful. There is Revati who's asking this question. She says, "What is the highest purpose of life?"
Well, if I was to answer this in pure spirituality, I would say it is to achieve self-realization, to achieve God realization. Okay, so if I was answering this question in a spiritual satsang, I would say your goal in life is to reach God. However, to make it more tangible, what does it mean to reach God? How do you reach God? You don't reach God by going somewhere. You reach God by becoming good. You have to be pure. You have to purify yourself. So it's the same goals which I have been repeating through this lecture series, this 1 hour session, that the goal in your life is to be the best you can be, and consequently to do the best you can do. That is what God wants from you. And that is how you will feel the best that you can feel.
Wow, wonderful. Thank you, Swamiji. Thank you very much for this answer. This is also exploring and peeling off a lot of layers on the onion where to really find the seed. Thank you so much for this. So what Amit Arorkar is asking, sometimes we know it is wrong, and we want our, we should not do it, but we still do it. How to control that? That's a very simple question that he's asked.
Well, Amit, not sometimes, all the time. You see, we all know what should be eaten and what should not be eaten. We all know what time we should wake up in the morning, right? The biggest gap in life is between knowing and doing. And the cause for this gap is insufficient self-discipline, insufficient willpower. That's why one of the most important things in life is to develop your willpower by taking one step at a time. So the muscle of willpower has to be exerted in little acts until it grows stronger and stronger and stronger.
Wow. Thank you very much for
Hello.
that answer. Uh, okay, if there is a question, my request to all of you is write it down in the chat box. It will help. We have last 5 minutes before we see the video of what mesmerizing work Swamiji has done. When we were told not to expect fruits of our efforts, how does one manage one's mind not to expect? So that's a question from Shubha Ranganathan, who's also an educationist. She's also a teacher by herself, and so that's something that she's asking us.
Yes, I think she is referring to the famous verse of the Bhagavad Gita, Karmanyeva adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. That you put in your best efforts, but don't be attached to the fruits. See, when we are attached to the fruits, it spoils the mind. Attachment doesn't come by itself. It is accompanied by anxiety. Will I get it? Will I not get it? We become distracted when half your mind is on the goal. You only have half your mind on the effort. So what Lord Krishna says is the perfect science of work. He says the results are never in your hands. The only thing in your hands is the efforts. When you become effort oriented, the results will take care of themselves. And you will also feel in control because you can control your efforts. You will also feel fulfilled that I am doing what I am able to do. So the best way to take care of the results is by focusing on the efforts and to snap this detachment. Of course, that would be a 1 hour lecture in itself, but you need some divine knowledge for that I am not the enjoyer. My nature is to serve the divine, not to reap, not to do bhog, but to do seva.
Wow, wonderful. Thank you very much for that answer once again. One very good question has come up. What is the difference between, and I think Dr. Bhagirath Pataskar, who's also a PhD in Vedic literature, she's asking this question. What is the difference between being religious and being spiritual?
Okay. See, sometimes this can be semantics because the word religion can have different definitions and the word spiritual can have different definitions. But considering the meanings of these two words that have become popular today, religion refers to the external customs and traditions, the external form. So if you go for Char Dham Yatra, that is a religious practice. If you do Shraddh, etc., that is a religious practice. And spirituality refers to the cultivation of your inner virtues. So to hold the right thoughts is spirituality. To go for a bath in the holy Ganga is religion. And to bathe your mind in remembrance of the God is spirituality. So spirituality is uncommon. You don't expect everybody to connect with it. And that is why these great sages and our scriptures, they created a huge infrastructure of religious traditions. They at least do something. Something is better than nothing. You're doing the external form, and slowly that inner life will get added to it.
Wonderful, wonderful, very. I mean, I don't know. I don't have words how you easily have just unfolded this. There will be so many people in this in the webinar right now who must be really feeling the same way that I'm feeling, because this has been a mighty question for so many people, right? Being religious and being spiritual, what does it mean? And awesome. So Swamiji, one last question.
Last question. Okay.
Yeah, last question. Okay. is the question is, and it's very simple. I mean, the question itself has come simple. It's come from Samarth. Is happiness is always giving? Does happiness means always giving?
Well, it is true that the love that will satisfy our hearts is true love, divine love. And that divine love is the desire to give. So the more you give, the happier you will become. It is undoubtedly true. However, you cannot just give. It has to be an educated effort. You can only give if you have for yourself. So in order to reach that point where you can give, you need to have for yourself, right? So you have to train yourself, you have to maintain yourself, you have to sustain yourself. But when giving becomes awoken within you, even when you are acquiring for yourself or developing for yourself, the inner intention remains. I'm doing this just so that I can serve better. So this desire to serve must become the strongest intention, the strongest why in our life. That is the way to happiness.
Wonderful. So which means that my consistent effort to improve my ability in myself, that helps me to provide and serve more.
Very correct.
Wow. Thank you so much. I think, Swamiji, these questions will not stop, but we have limited time. We have limited time. I'm sure if yes.
So I have a little problem here. I have another program that's going to start in a very little time, because this is the weekend and I kind of committed to different programs. So I know you're going to be showing some videos of our activities, and I would really love for our audience to become aware of the different activities of our JK Yoga organization. But with your permission, if I can take leave at this point.
Hello.
Absolutely no. We can't. Of course, we can't say no. But it would have been pleasure if you would have been there. But I'm sure Rachnaji would take us through everything that or the most of the prominent things that you've done through JK Yoga and the organization. I'm sure that all of us have learned, understood. The one word that I will not forget is the law of mentorship is being available, being expert, and it helps you to grow. That is something that will remain in my mind for a good amount of time, and I will practice that myself. And I'm sure I'm just blessed because I can speak. This is exactly what people must be feeling, because I just a representative of all of these people. I thank you from the bottom of my heart, and express my heartfelt gratitude for being here. Thank you very much, Guruji.
Thank you so much. It has been a delight to speak to such inspired people, and it has been extremely fulfilling. I feel privileged to have had this opportunity to share this wisdom with all of you. Thank you so much for inviting me to your program.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Rachnaji, we would request you to please share what JK Yoga does, the organization and all of it, because I'm 100% sure a lot of people will benefit about it as well. Please go ahead.
Yeah, sure.
Rachnaji,
Thank you, Yogesh.
one compliment, sorry to interrupt. The almost 100% attendees are happy, and they are putting a lot of compliments.
Right. Thank you so much to all of you as the organizing committee, and thank you so much for the audience also for their kind words of appreciation. So for people who came in late in the meeting, just a quick introduction. I'm Rachna and I'm part of the JKO team, the organization that Swamiji heads. So I'm just going to play 2 videos for all of you. So the first one would be on the gamut of activities that JKO undertakes in the US as well as in India. And the second video is going to be so all about Swamiji's books and the free online sessions that we offer in India, which you all can take advantage of. And the last slide would be our contact points, our email IDs, phone numbers, whatever you can reach out to if you want to stay associated with JKUs, right? So let me start in the interest of time. Hope my screen is visible.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Okay.
JK Yog is a worldwide non-profit organization established with a mission of helping society attain spiritual, mental, and physical well-being. JK Yog was founded by Swami Mukundanand, a world-renowned spiritual teacher and senior disciple of Jagat Guru Sri Kripaluji Maharaj. JK Yog offers many life-transforming programs and initiatives for your spiritual growth and personal development. Attend any of our free week-long programs with Swamiji around the world and learn yoga for the body, mind and soul, along with highly effective techniques of pranayam, subtle body relaxation, Roop Dhyan meditation, and spiritual wisdom for day-to-day living. The Radha Krishna Temple of Dallas is JK Yog's US headquarters and principal center in the West. An enchantingly beautiful place of worship. It draws visitors from all over the country and inspires people of all backgrounds to practice spirituality and grow their love and devotion to God. JK Yog supports Jagat Guru Kripalu Parishad in providing free world-class education from kindergarten to postgraduate studies to more than 5,000 underprivileged girls in rural India. Uniforms, equipment, transportation also provided free of charge to remove any obstacles these girls might face in coming to school. JK Yog also supports fully charitable hospitals in Banara, Mangar, Barsana and Vrindavan that provide completely free modern healthcare each year to more than 300,000 patients from deprived rural communities. Together, these institutions have transformed lives and entire communities and brought health and hope for a brighter future to millions. Meals, money and essentials are regularly distributed to the poor, blind and physically challenged in various parts of India. Recognizing the need for spiritual education in modern time and the lack of focus on holistic health systems, JK Yog India has embarked on a landmark project to establish a dedicated university for the study and research of yoga, naturopathy and associated medicinal systems such as Ayurveda. The university will also offer graduate and postgraduate programs in business management, information technology, and other focus areas.
JKYO conducts yoga and meditation camps and spiritual workshops in over 50 cities of India, spread over the states of Odisha, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, and Delhi. It has permanent ashrams in Cuttack, Brahmpur, Jajpur, Delhi, Karanjia, Rairangpur, etc., and congregational centers in more than 40 towns and villages. A 50-bedded naturopathy hospital was established in 2013, the first of its kind in eastern India. Camps and workshops were held all over the state to educate people about holistic health and healthy living.
My name is Jayesh Mankar. I am from Phoenix, Arizona, United States. I was here from 21st January till 5th of February on 14 days course, where I have reduced about 6.5 kilogram of the weight and reduced my insulin from 120 units a day to just 30 units a day. It has been wonders in the last 14 days for us. We enjoyed. I came over here with my full family. I was not thinking we will stay for 14 days, but I did stay and it was the great result.
The Jagadguru Kripalu University, with its holistic approach, combining the best of ancient and modern pedagogy with exposure to real-life scenarios, problem-solving skills, and crucial thinking, will create a pool of next-generation leaders. The university will offer free education to the rural youth and uplift the tribal communities of Odisha. Free computer literacy classes will be conducted in weekends to inhabitants from 200 nearby villages. Help give the gift of education to the underprivileged youth and participate in uplifting a backward region of India by offering your time, finances, energy, or skills in any way you are inspired.
So that was about JK Yoga activities in the USA and in India. And let me quickly play the last video, which is about Swamiji's books, where you can procure them, and the free online sessions that we offer so that you can stay associated with us.
Sure.
So that was it from our side. Over to you, Dr. Yogesh, and I'm going to quickly put in, the contact addresses and the phone number, etc., everything on the chat window for everybody's benefit. Yeah.
Please do. Thank you.
Yeah.
Can I request Mohanji for vote of thanks?
Yeah, I am absolutely grateful to Swamiji and JK Yog and Rachanaji. You have taken a lot of efforts to make this event successful, and I am sure everybody of us is extremely happy, delighted, and we would love to get connected with you. I am also thankful to all my operations team. I am also grateful to the attendees, and I am sure they will also they were again and again. I am getting a lot of messages. They're extremely happy, and I am sure whatever work we are trying to share the wisdom of spiritual leaders, which was probably Dr. Yogesh has inspired me that we should call the spiritual leaders, and this is going to help the community. And in process, to be very honest with you, every NGO needs money. Every NGO needs volunteers. So I would request humbly that those who are non-members, please become members, and we need a lot of volunteers to share this kind of knowledge, wisdom to the entire entrepreneurship world in India, which is further going to help the India's GDP. So once again, thanks to everybody. Once again, gratitude to all of you and Swamiji. Thank you very much, Rasanaji. So nice of you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for joining in. Thank you. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Jai Hind.
Yeah, thank you.